Welcome back to A Potent Dose of Three. My name is Jazz.
I'm Kathy.
And it's your girl, Linda, and we're here to bring you your weekly dose.
So, you guys, I wanted to start off today a little different, and I wanted us to say something positive about each other.
Okay, I'll start. So with Linda, one positive thing about Linda, well, for me, is that she's always there for you. Like, it's a person you can count on no matter what.
Yeah, I be calling her when I'm like going through it.
And she answers.
I know.
I try to answer. But in reality, y'all be getting on my nerves.
No, I know. I'm like, damn. Like, I got sent to a voicemail today. I'm like, she's probably like, this girl. She just called me 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then with Jasmine, she's so funny because even though, like, you're wrong, she makes you feel like you're not.
Stop. That's not true.
I don't know if
that's not true.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
I know,
that's
but
not
it's
true.
good for the
I don't
person.
know. But after today, the discussions we had prior to this recording, I agree with you.
Shut up. No, that's not true.
Hey, it's the outside. We telling you.
So,
Yeah.
okay, fine. Okay, whatever. I take it. So for you, Linda, I'm actually really amazed at your ability to do or learn how to do everything. Like, you know how to do everything. Like, with starting this podcast, I was like, how do I do this? And Linda's like, you just do this. And she would show me how. Same thing with you, Kathy. I feel like she's always correcting us on how to fix things. No, I'm just saying you're very thorough. Like, I'm not trying to, I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. You're very thorough. Like, you do things right. You know, I like that. I really like that. Not everyone's on top of their shit, so.
Yeah, honestly. And I guess, never mind. You still got Kathy.
And Kathy, yours, I really like how you're really busy, but you still find time to make time for everything. Like your child, like the way you take care of him, like the specific needs. You told me like you cook him his meals, you cook your fiance his meals, and you do your meals. Like, you find time to do that. I would never do all that. Like, I could never. That's crazy how you get it all done. So I think that's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, and to add on with Jasmine, I do. That's one of the things I like about you as well, or one of the things I see. I feel like you're a good person, like with fitness wise. Like here, moving back to the Bay Area, like I feel like you're, not to call all my other friends out, but you're the only friend out here.
I'm working
besides,
on it,
like,
dude.
Erica,
I'm working on it.
That's actually a great accountability partner and very consistent. Like, I like how you call me out on shit. Like, you don't sugarcoat things. And Kathy, no, because I'd be like pushing back at her because she'd be saying stuff and I'm like literally rolling my eyes like, girl, I know. Like, if you don't leave me alone before I fight you. But that's what I need.
Yeah.
And we both basically hold each other accountable. Like, she'll tell me like, girl, did you supposed to be eating that? Girl, did you work out today? In my head, I was like, girl, can you mind your own business? But like, she's really good with that. And plus, you're a great mom.
Thank
like,
you.
The little, and he looked like he eating good too. So what Jasmine said, like, the way you cook 3 different meals for your family.
When she told us, I was like, I could never do all that. Like, everyone's eating or this or they're not eating tonight.
Exactly. Plus being a freaking master's student, being a parent and a fiance, girl.
Yeah.
I wish. And Jasmine, on the other hand, I know Jasmine all my dang life. And
Yes.
And one thing I really love about Jasmine with just like your work ethic, for academic wise, like you go hardcore in studying.
Thank you.
I know, like now, I don't know if you see it as like damn, I need to like chill on the studying or a bad thing. But
I think just like learning to find a balance.
the balance,
you know?
okay, I can see that. But for me, I always admire that because I like to do things last minute, and like seeing you for someone who's like on top of your school stuff and like, oh, I got to get it done. I was like, Linda, you can be a little bit better. And then if I ever had like a question about math or science, I know who to call. I was like, hey, Jasmine, I'm having I don't know how to do this math problem. Can you help me? She was like, yeah. And she'll like write it down on the paper and show me because great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like you get stuff done. You know how to study.
Thank you. I really like school and I like putting the time and
like
effort.
the nerd she is.
Thank you. And in talking about this, I just wanted us to really say something nice about each other. And not just kidding. Actually, I did a Instagram question board, and the topic of discussion for this podcast episode will be imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. Maybe this would be an asshole remark to that.
What?
I see the imposter syndrome coming out. I don't know if you noticed, Kathy, but Jasmine has a radio voice. So you change your voice when you're speaking. She's like, yeah. And so I was like, girl, you don't even talk like that.
Wait.
So like this, you're
You know
talking
what?
normal, but when you're transitioning, it's like, and so guys.
So should I do it again?
No, this is perfect. This is for
fine.
this.
This is fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. So imposter syndrome.
Yes.
What was it about? Like,
Have you guys heard of imposter syndrome? Have you dealt with it?
Yes.
Yes, both.
every day.
Cool.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I guess listeners just really wanted to know, like, how do you combat imposter syndrome, and what are some things that we do to deal with that? So
Okay.
I think that's what we'll get into.
Okay. So let's get into it.
Woohoo.
All right. So imposter syndrome is a feeling of unworthiness or incompetence, despite you actually having achievements and success. You feel like a fraud, a failure, and you don't feel like your accomplishments are due to like your hard work. You feel like you just got lucky. Have you ever experienced this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to?
Shit is real. The imposter syndrome is real in this room.
Mm-hmm. It is very real. And then it's also, I think it's real, but you also need to learn to acknowledge the imposter syndrome, right? Because if you don't acknowledge it and you don't do something about it, then you're just going to keep thinking, and that's going to harm you in the long run.
So what are some, you say that, but what are some examples of you personally, like you experience imposter syndrome?
Can you think of like an example where you felt this?
Plenty. So, okay, my first example was probably in high school. Because, I just came to this country. I didn't know the language, but I was doing well in the classes. But that's because I was studying and, doing the study guides and all that. And then I would do good. But then right when I would get like my grades or, how you get like the honor certificate, like a student honors.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, maybe they just give it to me. Like, I would always downplay myself. Like, I was, like, I'm not good enough. Or maybe they just feel sorry for me or stuff like that.
Right.
And then when I started, right when I got, like, accepted for nursing school, that's when it hit me the most. That's when I really felt it.
Yep.
Because I was like, oh, maybe I just got lucky. Maybe like because I was in the waiting list. So it wasn't like I was for one of the programs. I was in the waiting list. So I didn't get the acceptance letters right away. So I was like, oh, I just got lucky. Like maybe they just needed to fill that spot that somebody left, right? Or like when I got accepted for the other program, oh, I just got lucky because that's just like an easier program. Like I wouldn't acknowledge my hard work.
That literally just have a negative effect on how you feel about yourself and just everything. So I actually remember you having the conversation with me about that. I remember the moment we went to the gym and then we went to Safeway to like buy some stuff. And I remember I was like, what's wrong? Like you seem like kind of sad. And she was like, you're like, oh, I just feel like, I don't belong in this program like everyone else in the program because you entered late. Like everyone else kind of during the summer already like made connections and everything. You literally got accepted in the program right when school started. So I remember you saying like, oh, you feel like you're not supposed to be in this program and maybe they just accept you just because. I remember telling you, like, girl, no, like you're meant to be in this program. That's the reason why you're in the program. And to kind of, trick yourself to believing that you are meant to be until you believe it yourself. So I do remember that. I do actually remember.
For myself, and for imposter syndrome, I've had a few like it's happened a lot to me, guys. One example I can think of is like I did my EMT program and I was really scared to do it, and I didn't think I was going to pass any of the exams. I passed all my classes in the EMT program. I passed the test. I passed like the skills very well, like without trouble. I had a lot of anxiety doing them, but I passed even with my anxiety. And I did very, very well in the class. And then I didn't get an EMT job because I didn't think I could do it. Like I didn't think I was good enough. And I Linda, I kept making excuses like, oh, I'm not going to do it just yet. Like, oh, I'm studying for the MCAT. oh, I'm volunteering. Like, I made a lot of excuses.
All the excuses in the book.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's just because it's not going to make me a lot of money when I wasn't even working to begin with.
Exactly. So little money is better than
No
what you're
money.
making before.
Yeah, and then I remember sitting on the couch and be like, what are you doing? I was like, you did so well. Like, obviously, they wouldn't have passed you if you weren't good enough. People were like coming to ask you questions about like the test and like, you know, like I was very knowledgeable in the material, and I was like, what are you doing? You're volunteering your time, which is great. I love volunteering, but I was like, you're volunteering your time. You can be getting even more patient interaction, learning more, and making money. Like, I wasn't making money before this.
Nope. Right.
So I called Linda, and she was like, yeah, do it. And I was like, okay.
You better do it.
I was like, I'm just going to apply. I'm just going to apply for a job. Maybe I'll get a job interview. Maybe I won't. I got a job interview, and I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, it's happening. So then I didn't study. Keep in mind, my program was like, I don't know, 6-7 months ago. And then I had the job interview. I didn't study for the interview because, I don't know, I just didn't do it. I went in and I did fairly well on that interview. Like, yes, I had a little hiccup, but I still did enough to get the job. And then I got on I started working, and I had a shift yesterday actually where I worked with a coworker, and they were asking a question about like a diagnosis, and I knew about the diagnosis. I was able to describe it, and I was just like, you know what? You do know what you're doing. Like, it just showed me that there was a lot of fear stopping me from keeping moving forward, and that was a situation of imposter syndrome.
Yeah. For me, like similar to what Kathy said, I feel like I've always had imposter syndrome growing up. Not even like maybe like high school, no, undergrad, maybe that's when it started, but it got real like when I got to college, or when I got accepted into the master's program. For me, I guess even before I got accepted into the master's program, the whole like just studying to get into the nursing program, that like in my head, I was like, damn, you don't know anything. Like, how are you going to even become a nurse? Like, you don't know anything. So you're not going to get in. So just like that negativity, I feel like that pushed me even more for imposter syndrome. And that's where the whole thing in my head, like fake it till you make it, came. And now like after learning, that's actually not a good thing or a motto to go by, because that kind of pushed that imposter syndrome to the forefront. It's like, no, you're not faking it. You're actually
like,
doing it.
You're like carrying it with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
you're
I'm faking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like and so I am trying to get away from trying to say the whole fake it till you make it thing less, because that literally pushed the whole imposter syndrome thing. And then so, yeah, I feel like I struggle with imposter syndrome like every day. Even right, even in this master program, I was like, girl, I don't know how you did it, but you did it. Like and I even remember when I was preparing to take my NCLEX, in my head I was like, I'm not capable of like passing my NCLEX on the first time. Like in my head it was just all negativity. Like, I'm not going to pass. I don't know what I'm doing. Like this whole time I was faking it. So how the hell I'm going to pass an exam, a board's exam that I have to take. I took the exam, passed. I was like, ooh, look at God. But even then still in my head, I'm like, damn, I still feel imposter syndrome.
No,
and that's crazy, because even then she wouldn't even trust herself. Even though she worked her ass off and she studied every day, she didn't even say, oh, look at Linda, like you did that.
No, I did not give myself credit at all.
It's very common. It happens a lot.
Yeah. And then, I don't know if you're going to.
No, go ahead.
And then, so I have a classmate. Shout out to Heidi. I don't know the exact words that she says. I'm going to summarize it as much as I can. Is that I remember we were all studying, like with my little 4 or 3 other girls that I usually study with. And I was like, damn, I have imposter syndrome so bad. And she looked at me. She's like, Linda, I need you to stop. Which is true. She's like, I need you to stop saying that and like to believe in yourself more, because you think you're not supposed to be here, and maybe people in your life are, people make it seem like, oh, people of color is not supposed to be here, but we're meant to be here, and I need you to like believe that. And I was like, you're right, because I feel also a lot, I don't know if it's the same thing with you guys. Another reason why I feel like I have a lot of imposter syndrome is because the negativity of other people, like, oh, you're not gonna make it this far. So in my head, I was like, damn, they're right. I'm not going to make it this far. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense because you already had teachers saying like, oh, what, in the Bay Area, you're even going to get accepted, like, for your case. And in my case, he was like, well, your GPA, like, are you even going to make it? You know?
Yeah.
So I get it. Because it's already this, not only your negativity, but other people's negativity. And you're like, fuck.
And that's hard when you're already dealing with it yourself.
Yes.
Yep. And
It's like, it just pushes you too low.
And they're in your head, it's like, yeah, they're right. I'm not supposed what they're saying is true. They're true. But in reality, all these people are like freaking haters. So thank you, Heidi. I don't know if you listen to this podcast, but thank you, girl.
Quiere llorar. No, just so you guys know, imposter syndrome is super common. It happens to 82% of people have suffered from this. It's very common. And I'm glad we're talking about it because I know that there's probably a lot of people who are listening who are like, you know what? I felt that way before. So I'm just going to quickly talk about maybe what some symptoms might be. And like, for example, with my EMT, I was turning down like that opportunity to, you know, I guess like have another like job opportunity, or you turn down opportunities where you can be successful. You feel incompetent. You feel like you don't belong. What other feelings can you think of for imposter syndrome?
I feel like, well, in my case, like, you feel like they give it to you just because you're that, like, well,
they trying to make that like, quota.
Yeah.
I need a black person in the program. I need that one Hispanic in the program. And people say stuff like that.
Well, you know what?
People literally say stuff like that.
People say stuff like that. And imposter syndrome disproportionately affects minorities.
Yep. I can see that.
It does.
I see it.
It does.
I feel it.
So if you find it hard to accept praise.
Yeah, that's
right.
I that's my struggle.
I turn it down.
Yeah.
And then because, so like I said before, my fiance is like my number one cheerleader. He's always praising me, and I'm like, no, dude, you're just over exaggerating.
You're just being nice.
Like, you're just being nice. Yeah. You say it because.
Oh no!
You're saying it because I'm with you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You're saying it because you're my fiance.
Yeah,
exactly. My favorite thing that I do is someone says something positive about me, like I'll make it negative. Like, oh, there will be like something simple, like, oh, I like your outfit. Oh, I don't like how I look in it.
That's true.
I change it to something.
Or like I redivert the conversation sometimes. Sometimes I try to move the conversation away from it.
Yeah, make it about them. Like, oh, I like how you look. Blah, blah,
blah. Instead of being like, thank you.
Exactly. And leave it at that. Thank you. Not like, oh,
thinking like, oh, maybe she just said it because, you know, like, yeah, just leave it as that and then just move on. Then it doesn't work like that in your brain.
My brain, no.
You also feel like you got lucky and you don't deserve it, which I think we all have experienced that. Like you said, even when you studied so hard, you felt like you weren't sure you were going to pass. You know?
Yeah. Like my last semester, because I was going tutoring, and it's funny because when I would go with my tutor, she would ask me, how do you do? And I was like, oh, I did great. And then she's like, that was all you. And I was like, no, I was all tutor? You. Heidi.
Exactly. Heidi, girl. Changing lives around here.
Yeah, she really does. So she was like, no, it wasn't all me. It was all you. Like, you did the hard work. You were the one who booked the tutoring session. And I'm like, damn.
You're right.
Like, she's right. But then at the same time, I was like, no, but it was thanks to you. And she's like, no,
it was put in the work.
Yes.
My favorite. You apologize for yourself when you didn't actually do anything wrong. I do that all the time.
I think you do it all the time.
I do that.
A lot of people do it all. You do it too. I think you did something recently, and I was like, why are you saying sorry? You don't need to say sorry. Like, stop saying sorry.
Oh my God, yes,
something.
I do.
It was something. I was like, why are you saying sorry for?
Yeah, it was it like in a group chat or
it was something texting. I was like, why are you saying sorry?
Yeah. But then I do it, but then I don't pay attention that I do it. Like, I don't,
you know
what
do
I'm
it naturally.
Yes.
I pay attention. Even yesterday, I think I did it with my coworker, and he was like, don't say sorry. And I was like, you're right. Yes. I ain't saying sorry no more. Exactly. I take that sorry back.
Exactly. It's crazy because I had a professor. I don't know. I don't forgot what semester it was. Maybe last semester. I forgot the professor's name, but you'll run into her, Kathy. But someone was talking. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she was like, you know what? In this class, I don't want you to apologize. There's nothing for you to say.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
I love that.
And that's literally like one of the first persons or professors I heard say that. She was like, you shouldn't have to apologize for something that you like, especially you didn't even do anything wrong. So why are you apologizing?
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, she's right. And I love the fact that she said that.
I love it. No,
Yes.
like I was telling you, my coworker said that, and I was like, you know what? You're pretty
Right.
cool. Okay.
Yeah.
You all right. Another one. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
So that's the main ones.
No.
So in that case, are you done?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so now just like in your life, your journey through school, your journey through like working and even trying to get into
Wait, you're going to be mad at me.
What?
I have one more.
Oh, go say.
You hold yourself to like perfectionist standards, to impossibly high standards.
Yes. And I get mad at myself. And then that's the thing, like you kind of set up yourself for failure in a way.
Exactly.
Because you're like, this has to be perfect. And when it doesn't become perfect or the way that it's coming in your brain, then you're pissed at yourself and you're like, oh my God, you're so dumb. And then you start talking to yourself badly. And then that's just
go their whole cycle.
It's a whole
And-
rabbit hole.
Yep.
And the limit does not exist.
Yeah, that's the thing. The limit does not exist.
No, like you could go to bed and then you're like, oh my God, I'm so f***ing dumb. And then you toss and turn and you're like, why would you do that? Why would you say that? Like you start fighting with yourself. And like,
Literally with yourself in your head, just having a whole fight.
Oh, okay. So it's not just me then.
No. You're not the only crazy one.
and then just like some people say, sometimes you're your hardest critic.
No,
No,
you
that's
are.
true.
We are.
And it's not fair to yourself, you know?
Yeah, no, that's true. So are you done now?
I'm done.
I was going to do my transition.
You
Now
can
I'm
go.
going to figure out how to edit this.
You can go.
Yeah. So in life, in school and work, trying to apply to med school, what are some ways, like you guys talked about how, imposter syndrome show up. What are some ways that you've dealt with it to try to say like, I deserve to be here? Like, what do you guys do?
What I do is I do a lot. And when I say a lot, it's a lot of self-affirmation. Mm-hmm. Like I say to myself, you're capable, you could do it, you got yourself here, you did this. I always remind myself that I did it, that it wasn't because I was lucky, that it wasn't because they were trying to like get into a quota, that it wasn't because they feel sorry for me. I always say that to myself, especially at the beginning when it was really, really bad when I got accepted to the program. That's when it was like, I think it was the worst that it's ever been for me.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy because that's you're supposed to feel the highest.
Yes. And I felt so pissed off of myself because I'm like, dude, you should be happy because you've been waiting for this moment for so long and you're treating yourself so bad, So that's when I'm like, I need to work on it because of that was holding me back on do well in school, So then I was like, I need to work on it because it's affecting me and it's affecting my academic. It's affecting everything. So no. So then I just always remind myself, like, you're capable. You did this. You're strong. You're the one who got yourself here. Like always remind myself that I'm the one who did it. And then that sometimes if everything doesn't come perfect, like you planned yourself to do it perfect, it's okay. It came out well. And you don't have to be so hard on you.
For me, I think like you said, it was a lot of areas I had to work on. So it was like, okay, number one, I love to be perfect. That we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. Like that doesn't exist. We're not getting perfect. We're getting good. We're going to get great, but perfect, no.
Yeah.
If you don't get perfect, that's okay. If you get near perfect, even better. So I let go of the perfectionism in me. I not let go because I'm not gonna lie, I still have it. Negative self-talk. I catch it and I'm like, stop, pause, stop this, turn it positive. So negative to positive self-talk. That's why you said that I say things are okay when you're wrong. No. You said I say you're right when you're wrong. This is what I was doing. I turned negative self-talk into positive self-talk. So I said, Kathy, yes, but no.
Yes, but no. Like, we don't remember hearing the no part.
That didn't register in my brain.
Yes, it was echoing in Kathy's head when you're giving her advice. Like, yeah.
No, but like I really try to stop that negative self-talk and think like you, Kathy, where it's like, no, you worked hard. You did this yourself. It wasn't given to you. You worked hard. It showed out in the test or like whatever it may be. Like there's an A there because you worked hard. Like they didn't just give it to you. What else? Actually, I forgot the rest.
Well, I'll talk for a little bit, and while you like figure out what you're gonna say. But for me, just like the both of you, what you said is for me is like the negative self-talk, like flipping that around and making it positive, because literally your self-talk being negative about yourself can literally stop you from just achieving so much in life and stop you from being like your full potential. And that literally would upset me, because it's like, damn, I know that I'm capable of so much more, but myself, the way I speak to myself will like stop me from doing so much. So if I find myself saying anything negative, because there's a lot of shit that I be talking negative about, if it's not about school and being capable, if it's not about me, my weight loss journey, or just my health, it's just like, whatever it is, I have to switch that negativity to something positive. So if I say something bad about myself, it's like, Linda, no, you that one. You that one. You that girl. Like, no. It's like, it's in your head.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what the other one was. I was like, be kind to yourself.
Yes,
like, be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Like, okay, I didn't achieve C, but I got A and B, and A and B are
you
great.
Worked your ass off for that.
And I will still get C, but I still got to work harder, and it's okay. Like, so I'm just like kind to myself when I don't achieve what I want to achieve. And I also, this is a really big one, Linda, and I'm sure you've seen it, is I try to take opportunities where, like, when I'm scared of doing something, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. It's okay. It takes me a minute. It does take me a minute because I have to think about it. But even like with the whole EMT thing, right? Like, I finally did it. Remember when I did the Toro presentation? I was nervous. I hate public speaking. And I went for it. I went for it. You know, so I just trying to take up opportunities where they challenge me and help me grow, because I've noticed, like you said, imposter syndrome has caused me to really like hold myself back. And who knows where I would be if I wasn't combating this, if I wasn't dealing with it on a daily, you know?
Exactly. And then you realize it's like, once you put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, you realize like, oh, damn, it wasn't even that bad. So imagine if we keep doing it, it's like you would grow so much. And that's me, just like, I'm girl, whoever's listening, I'm on the same boat. Like, I'm literally trying to learn these things.
We are on the same boat. We're trying to
learn these things.
Plus, even sometimes when getting in these uncomfortable situations, when you think you're just not going to shine, you shine the most.
I know. And I love it. It's like it's the best feeling. Like when you were so scared to do something and then you're glowing, you're shining. I love it.
It's like it wasn't so bad after all.
I know.
Yeah, it was all just everything was in your head at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You know?
And another change that I'm trying to do, like, yes, my whole motto for a very long time was fake it until you make it. Now I'm trying to switch that narrative. Instead of saying fake it till you make it, it's like, no, but
you know what? My motto is actually.
Wait. So I'm trying to switch that whole narrative of fake it till you make it to more. I was like, no, you're not faking it. You're actually putting in the work, you're doing it. So stop saying like you're faking something when you're actually putting in that hard work to be successful and to be to where you want to be. So that's my whole thing, like shifting my mindset and just saying more positive, uplifting things.
Why don't you switch it to I am faking it, I'm making it.
Exactly. I like that. I like it. Exactly.
Mine is I'm hardcore.
There you go. Because you literally have to speak positivity to yourself, because there will be a lot of people that's gonna try to put you down, and
you have to be your biggest supporter.
You have to, because if you let those, like, yes, my motto was fake it till you make it, but also part of me was trying to prove all the people that said I wasn't going to make it wrong. So that was kind of like my drive as well, but you literally have to believe in yourself.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can we have t-shirts that say I ain't faking it, I'm making it?
That's girl, don't say that. Somebody out there may steal our stuff.
Cut.
No, yeah. And then I'm trying to...
It's just like when I always think about it, because I watch Drag Race.
What the drag show?
Yes.
Like roof...
Yeah.
Tell me why I thought she was talking about like race car drivers.
Yes, we're on the same page, Kathy.
Bye. Bye. So I always think, when I'm always so hard on myself, you know how he says, if you don't love yourself, then who the hell is going to love you?
Aww.
And that's when I'm like, you're right.
Yes.
You are right. If you don't love
it.
yourself, then who is going to love you? And then that's also like another thing that I think about, especially like after I became a mom. I became like really hard on myself body wise and like what I wear and like, oh my God, I look fat. Oh my God, you can see my stretch marks. Oh my God, I'm not losing weight. Oh my God, this is not fitting, etc., etc. And then I just start saying like, no, I don't remember where I heard it, but I heard it somewhere that they say how you look like at yourself, that's how people are going to look at you.
Exactly.
So when I wear an outfit and I'm going out or something, I look at myself in the mirror and then I'm like, you're that
own
bitch.
it.
Exactly.
So you feel good, you look good, everybody's gonna think you look good. And then that's it. That's all, you know?
It's very true. Confidence,
Yes.
big,
Yes.
big.
And that's another thing. Maybe imposter syndrome, I don't know if there's been a study or correlation, but maybe imposter syndrome has a lot to do also with self-esteem, having poor self-esteem, how someone views themselves, because I know like my self-esteem is not that high. I'm like trying to work on it, but I can see how it relates. Like because you already feel you have low self-esteem about yourself, that's the reason why maybe the imposter syndrome is very high in you as well. Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
And then there's something that just clicked on me right now when we were having the discussion. I'm like, well, maybe self-esteem has to do with imposter syndrome. Like,
yeah, so it's
both
kind of
trying to work on.
I feel like I feel like it's cyclical. So you'll have like depression, anxiety, and it feeds into your imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome feeds into depression, anxiety, and you know, I feel like
that
it's
whole cycle.
Yeah, well,
it's a
that's
cycle.
amazing because I got all that shit.
Exactly.
So.
That's what I'm saying. For sure.
Check.
Yeah, like everything is fitting from each other. Great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now we know why we act the way we do.
I know.
Thank you for listening to our episode. If you identify with imposter syndrome, just know you are not alone.
We are here
with you.
That's so corny.
Sorry, it made sense, you know?
My imposter syndrome need to tell me, bitch, you can't sing.
But thank you for listening to our episode.
Also, don't forget to email us at apotentdoseof3@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow if you like what you hear at apotentdoseof3.
And you can follow me at Linda.
Girl, they don't want you.
More people come to listen to me than y'all.
I think so.
Okay, until next time, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.